Welcome to Chess to Impress, and today we're going to talk about skewers. Lesson number 3 is about skewers. A skewer is similar to a pin where we require 3 pieces to be on the same line, 2 of your opponent's pieces and 1 of your piece. However, the difference is that in a pin, the most important piece is in the back, and in a skewer, the most important piece is in the middle. It's black to move and find a skewer. Now let's take a look at this. The king and the rook, right? Which diagonal are they on? They are on the h1 a8 diagonal, with the most important piece being in the middle. So what do we do if we have to skewer the king to the rook? We play bishop f3. Again, 3 pieces on the same line with the most important piece being in the middle. Once the king slides away, you end up winning the rook. But is there something else which is even better than bishop f3? Yes, there is. It's bishop to b3. Because if we do bishop b3, we end up winning the queen. Again, the king, the queen, and the bishop, if we move the bishop on b3, will be on the same line, with the most important piece being in the middle. Wherever the king slides, you end up winning the queen. Position number 2, black to move and find a skewer. In this position, there are 2 skewers. Which one is the best? 2 pieces on the same line. The king and the rook are on the same line, and the king and the other rook are also on the same line. So where do we go? Should we go queen d2, or should we go queen to a2? Let's go step by step. If we were to play queen d2, this is a skewer, but we do not gain anything out of it because the rook is only a square away from the king. If the king moves, the king still supports the rook, which makes us capturing the rook not that great. But since this king on d5 and the rook on g8 are 3 squares away from each other, queen to a2 is the perfect move, is the correct way to skewer. Now once the king slides wherever it does, you end up winning the rook. So yes, always skewer pieces which are kind of a block or 2 away from each other. If you play a move like queen d2, the king can still slide and help support the rook. But if you were to go queen a2, since the queen is a long range piece, the king and the rook are poles apart. King slides and then you end up winning the rook. Alright, position number 3, skewer, which 2 pieces are on the same line. Skewer does not have to be necessarily with the king. There can be other pieces involved too. This king is relatively safe. There can be nothing done to this king. But if you observe closely, the rook and the knight are on the same diagonal, 2 blocks away. So what do? Bishop f7. Correct. Now we hit the rook. If the rook does not move, thank you very much, we end up winning the rook. And if the rook does move, we end up winning the knight. Again, the most important piece should be in the middle. The rook is worth 5 points. The knight is worth 3 points, which makes the rook an important piece as compared to the knight. And once the rook slides, you end up capturing the knight. Position number 4, 2 pieces on the same line. The king and the rook are on the same line. The bishop and the rook have their eyes on the g7 pawn. What do? We need the most important piece in the middle with an attack on the 7th rank. So we play rook captures g7. The king cannot capture the rook as the bishop protects it, and let's say the king were to go to e6, we end up winning the rook on b7. Position number 5, white would love to promote their pawn, right? I would love to promote this, make a queen, but our own rook is in the way. However, if we move the rook, let's say we move our rook to h8, or if we move our rook to f8 or e8 for that matter, and create a threat to make a queen, we're going to end. So let's say we play rook e8 with the idea of promoting. This does not work because the rook will then end up capturing our pawn. So is there a way you can use this pawn as a bait and then skewer? Yes, we can. We slide the rook all the way to a8. Now, what is our threat? Our threat is to promote, which means they need to capture. And once they capture, the king and the rook are 4 squares away, are 4 blocks away, and we need to do something on the 7th rank, which makes the answer quite evident. We play the move rook a7, checking the king, skewering the king to the rook. King moves and rook captures g7, skewer. Let's go revise this again. We need to promote, but if we move the rook, we end up losing the pawn. So we need to use this pawn as a bait and attack the king from the other side of the board, from the left side, from the a file. So we play rook a8 with the idea of promoting. They need to take. If they don't, we promote and capture the rook. If they take, rook captures. And also, if they play a move like king b7, if they attack your rook, no problem. We make a queen which supports the rook supports the queen, they capture our queen, and we capture back. And this is an easy position to win. So remember, what are skewers? A skewer is very similar to a pin, which requires 3 pieces to be on the straight line, 2 of your opponent's pieces and 1 of your piece. However, the difference is that in a pin, the most important piece is in the back, and in a skewer, the most important piece is in the middle.